Hmm. Hello. Welcome back. You know. Today I got a new video idea. I've been thinking about this one for a little bit. It's not like that crazy, but it's still like I guess cool to talk about. I think that I'd have an interesting one that might be entertaining to you. Is my bedtime banner or Diorbium's bedtime banner. And if you don't know, because you don't watch bedtime, that's okay. Bedtime MMA, MMA YouTuber, whatever. His YouTube banner is his ideal UFC champions. He has it like photoshopped, all the champions with their arm, whatever. Uh, yeah, this is mine. These are basically all my ideal UFC champions, or who my dream UFC champion lineup would be. I guess we'll get right into it. By the way, also just to mention, I'm just doing men's. Women's pretty obvious. I think it's the same for everyone. We don't really care that Mackenzie Dern's the 115 champ, so we want to be Zhang Wei Li again, and then Shevchenko is a 25-pound champ. That's fine. It's what I want. And then Kayla Harrison as a 35 champ is what I want. So I think that's really it. I don't need to really go too much crazy to them. But for as far as men go, number one for flyweight, 125 pounds. Charles Johnson. I said it, and y'all might agree with me. He's he beat your favorite fighter probably in flyweight, Ramazan or whatever Temirov or whatever you say that fool's name popped, so he might as well be 19-6. He just beat Loner, which is pretty impressive. Knocked him out. Obviously knocked out Joshua Van. Only a not embarrassing loss, but loss that isn't really aging well is his Cody Durden loss. Is what it is. And keep in mind, he's never been finished or submitted. He's only been lost by decision, so that's pretty badass in my opinion. Um, he's just my favorite flyweight. He's the most entertaining for me. He's actually there for a scrap, and I follow him on Instagram. Shout out Energy, you know what I'm saying? And he just the way that I guess it is what he shows, but what his training, his mindset, he's a father, he's a family man. Obviously Skullet gang, how do you not fuck with the Skullet? Obviously some might have different opinions, but I fuck with the Skullet. I wouldn't personally get it, but it looks good on him and he knows what he's doing. So I just fuck with Charles Johnson. Plus I met him in Miami. He was for UFC 314 or whatever. That was pretty chill. And if I meet a UFC fighter in real life, I'm probably a little more biased towards them to be in their favor for any sort of circumstance, especially if they're chill, like Charles Johnson. And he's, in my opinion, he's probably your fighter's favorite fighter, if you know what I'm saying. But we're going to the next one, Bantamweight 135. My ideal Bantamweight champion. And I don't know if it's Vinicius or Vinicius. I'm going with Vinicius because it sounds cool. Vinicius Oliveira. Okay. Just entertaining, sharp, insane striking. Haven't really seen his grappling, but I think when I have seen him grapple, he looks like he can like hold his ground. I feel like I've never really seen him like submit someone or try to submit someone. Being honest, which might be a hole in this game. I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't had to use it, but his stand up is crazy. What he posts on Instagram is funny. He just beats the shit out of people in sparring. He's Brazilian as fuck, so I can't really understand him, but the vibes are there. You know, his aura is up, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, you his flying knee over what's dude's name? Not Mike Malone. Mike Malone's like 170. The fuck is that? It's some Canadian dude's name. I forgot what his name is, but you know what I'm talking about. His flying knee KO. Or no, wait, not Canadian dude. Oh, what the fuck is he like Argentinian? Why can be from Argentina? I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you know who I'm talking about. I can't believe I don't remember. Whatever. That's gonna haunt me. But Vinicius Oliveira, just very entertaining. My favorite bantamweight right now, besides Davidson Figueiredo, obviously it's my favorite bantamweight. And well, I guess I would also want him to be champion, but I think he had his time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but I just don't think he will. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take that away from him because what's the point of training if you don't think you become world champion? You know, if you're actually taking it seriously. But yeah, Vinicius Oliveira, he's gonna be on my mind for a minute, and I can't wait to see him just keep on fighting up and winning because that's all what he seems to do. Yeah, very entertaining, good striking, all that, quick, good combos. Yeah, got very crafty and got an insane toolbox. Very entertaining overall, basically. So yeah, love him. Featherweight 145, my lord and savior, Jose Delgado. what else must I say? Just the explosiveness. His cardio looks decent. He did look like he gassed out a little bit in rounds 2 and 3 with the Nathaniel Wood fight, but he still kept a good pace. It's not like he got outstruck. He obviously got robbed. We all know this. We all know he got robbed. So it's not like not everyone knows that. But it was. I guess the fight was a little closer than what you would want it to be, especially for Nathaniel Wood, who is good and he's a scrapper. You know what I'm saying? He's there to fight, so you can't really take that away from him at all. But yeah, another reason why I fuck with Jose Delgado, besides his explosiveness, is just his striking. And a favorite thing that I do like about him, and I guess everyone pretty much sees it because it's not his last fight with Nathaniel Wood, but the one before that with Hyder Emil, that explosive left knee up the middle, just in the middle of any combo, and the dude is not expecting it. Just so crafty. He is young, so he's still got a lot of improvement to do. But for his age and his skill set and how he looks, I'm very impressed and I'm very entertained. And I will be looking forward to every single Jose Delgado fight for the rest of my life, or until he retires. Uh, what else besides being Mexicano, whatever. Just a big fan, and just like when he got that KO over Hyder Emil, just like talking about how the Delgado family name will be great and all this, and like I get you're riding adrenaline, whatever. It's his moment. How can you take that away from him? It's not cringe. It's honestly cool because he dedicates his life to training and having those moments, and he finally got it. I don't know. I just like really look at that and I feel very inspired. That's what I want. So it's cool to see him do it, and I'm a big fan. Shout out Jose Delgado. Lightweight. Y'all might not agree with me, and if you're my true friend, sorry. If you're my true friend, I'm not lying. Armin Sarukian. I cannot switch up on my boy. Yes, he did the UFC dirty, did us all dirty, and not fought. And didn't fight since UFC 300 until UFC Qatar, which is, oh my God, like a year and a half, almost a little more than that. Which was weird moving. I mean, obviously he pulled out of the Islam fight, hurt his back or whatever. But I guess it just is what it is. Not what you like to see, but it's what you get. But another thing why I fuck with Armin, just the way he fights, his grappling, his ground and pound, his wrestling to ground and pound, his fight IQ. You saw in the Dan Hooker fight, he would be in some sort of like choke. He would just alligator roll out of it, end up on top. That's impressive. I like in his earlier fights in his career, and he definitely could and still throws it now. And threw it on the Charles Oliveira. Didn't throw it on Dan Hooker because he didn't need to, but his axe kicks, I love his axe kicks. He's so fluid with it. They don't land all the time, but just like how he sets him up, kind of sets him up, but more of like how he throws him in his combos is pretty cool. He's just a very crafty fighter, just a dominant force. Look at him. Look at his physique. It's nothing but inspiring. He just is how I would want to fight, literally wrestling into ground and pound, and just is a very dangerous submission threat if he can find it or work towards it, or you open that up for him. Yeah, I just fuck with Armin, and I think he could be Ilya. I think Ilya, might just sleep him like he does everyone else, but I think if anyone's gonna give him the hardest fight, I think it's Armin. And this might be a controversial statement, but I think Armin will give Ilya a harder fight than Islam Makhachev will. Islam is good. He's a double champ. I'm not taking that away from him. He's honestly the GOAT. Sorry, but I Islam gets hit. Armin gets hit too, but not as much as Islam gets hit. And all it takes is one good hit for Taporia or Ilya, whatever, to put you out. And I could see him. I think he sleeps Islam at 55. Especially if Islam comes down one more time or whatever. If say that's how it works, they meet at 55. Because dude, Ilya is too small to go up to 70. He might lose at 70 against Makhachev. Just saying. He's just pretty small. But I think that if the reason Islam will lose to Ilya if he goes down to 55 is the bulk up to 70 and then cutting down to 55 again. That is extremely hard, and Islam looks like he was on death door. Most of his weight cuts to 55, so I just think that he'd probably get slapped. His chin would be lesser than it is now. He does have a good chin. His only loss is getting basically knocked out, but he didn't even get like flatline. He did a little bit. I guess his body went limp. He got KO'd, but he looked upright as soon as he hit the back of his head at the ground. Whatever, might have woken back up in that moment. Yeah, but I just don't see that happening to Armin. I see it being mostly grappling. I think Armin does what Hamza did to Drakus to Ilya, except Ilya is more of a not submission grappling threat compared than Drakus is to Hamza. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. But yeah, Armin is just my favorite lightweight. I can't help it. It is what it is. Next one, welterweight, 170. You already know. Joaquin Buckley. Need I say more? I honestly glaze him enough, but I guess I'll just say it again for the point of this video. His grind set with that, and you don't know grind set is pretty self-explanatory, but whatever, his mindset and his grind. His social media method, just being gassed out and promoting himself. Not being scared to fucking do RAF wrestling, whatever that new wrestling promotion is, and get honestly exposed. Again, even though the only reason why he did it. Sorry, someone left. Anyway, the only reason why he did the wrestling thing was because he needed to prove to the world that he did get out wrestled by Usman, and he wanted to prove that he had been working on that. And his wrestling did look good in the match, but he just was going up against an insane wrestler that just exposed him. It's probably a better wrestler than Usman because all he does is wrestling. Usman's good at wrestling. Obviously, look what he did to my GOAT. But it just is what it is. Yes, he did lose, but you know what I'm saying? It's the heart. It's the heart he has, and you can't take that from him. And he knows what he's got to do, and he's doing it. And that's like he's just sticking to it, and nothing can shake him off of his grind. And that's nothing but respect and inspiring for me, if you know what I'm saying. If you catch my drift. But oh yeah, shout out my fucking GOAT, Joaquin Buckley, the European Hall of Fame 2025 inductee. Shout out Joaquin. Middleweight 185. I'm sorry. It is what it is, and this is how I feel, but it is Michael Venom Page. Another round of applause. Does he beat Hamzat? No. Hamzat subs him. And or just actually destroys him from the wrestling and grappling. Not the wrestling and grappling. What the fuck? But reason I think MVP does is middleweight's not too good. It is. But I think MVP, his striking is just so difficult to deal with in general, to where I think most people at 85 would just get caught on the feet counter strike wise, or like couldn't figure out MVP, if that makes sense. And he's just so entertaining, and it's just like I love MVP. His smack talk. I love the fact that he doesn't rep a flag because human race is what he believes in or whatever. So we are all one. I believe that too, but love my red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? But what else? He obviously very entertaining. Fuck Ian Gary. And I like that he's moving between 170 and 185 just to stay active. He should be ranked in both divisions. I could be wrong. I know he's ranked in 85, but I'm not sure if he's ranked at 170 anymore just because all the movement at 170. But yeah, everyone loves MVP. How do you not love MVP? Just everything good about him. He walked out to BBL Gary and AI made a song. Come on, he's doing what we all want to do to Ian Gary. Anyway, going to the next one, light heavyweight. Obviously, we're all in the same boat here, and you're lying to yourself if you're not. We all want Yuri to be champ. We all want Pereira to move up. So after he beats Carlos and takes Carlos out of the picture, and then he moves up to heavyweight for Ankalaev and Yuri to fight for the vacant belt. We all want that. That's the ideal situation for 205. I think we can all agree. Honestly, I think we can all agree on that. But what else? Obviously, it's just his fighting spirit. Yes, obviously, he's the closest thing to have to samurai, whatever, but it's more just his fighting spirit, the aura he brings to the table. It's literally I love the fact that when I'm in Buffalo Wild Wings watching Yuri fight, even though he lost to Alex Pereira both times I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to see that, it's just his walkout, his aura. I have goosebumps. Genuinely. There's only a few, fighters that are, genuinely embody the fighting spirit that, give me goosebumps when they're walking out or when they're, facing off or whatever in the cage, you know what I'm saying? And Yuri is probably number one on that list. And I assume it is for you guys too. Y'all feel it just radiating through you and him. The energy is exploding through the world when he's about to fight. It just is what it is. Also, I chose Yuri because what else? Just the entertainment value, the scrap. He needs to get hit a little bit. You want to see Yuri needs adversity in a fight to come out on top, to prove to himself that he is the better fighter. That is where his motivation comes from mid-fight. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's really good. He just learned head movement. Thank God. Look how that's treated him and helped his career. We all fuck with Yuri's head movement. It's just entertaining. Rest in peace, Jalal Hill. Rest in peace, Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, I don't think he beats Alex in the trilogy, even though we all want him to, because we love Yuri and he is our older brother, basically. But yeah, also we love the autism. I'm not saying he has autism. I don't know. He probably does. I think it's just a Czech Republicness that just, is very European or whatever that wherever that's from. I'm not too educated on that side of the world, whatever. Come at me, I don't care. But he's just he's just so himself, and you can't take that away from him. And like I said, that about a lot of other people, a lot of other people on this list, it's very you can't do nothing but respect it, and it inspires me. So, yeah, shout out Year. We all love Year. If you hate Year, like I said, you're lying to yourself. Why would you lie to yourself? Heavyweight. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Waldo Cortez Acosta. Reason why? I'm honestly coming out, uh, being honest. Why I want Waldo to be my ideal heavyweight champ. His activity, the run that he's on right now, boom, 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 boom. What 4 or 5, maybe almost he wanted to fight 6 times a year, something like that. The activity, he's not scared to fight. He's in there to fight. Not to mention my friend Eric, my Dominican friend Eric. I think just the fact that he's Dominican motive and like I support the Dominican Republic because of my friend Eric. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't if he wasn't my friend, but I am biased and more open to doing it because he is my friend, if that makes sense. And so I need the DR to I think we need the DR to bring one home. And if it's a heavyweight, so be it. And Eric told me that he has like 4, 5, 6 kids. Those kids need fed. Plantanos or whatever Eric said. So yeah, I'm very biased because of my Dominican friend, but like listen, it's the equivalent of imagine going to a protest because there's some violence happening in the Dominican Republic. I'm going because I love my Dominican friends. Bro. I went there for the 4th of July. His family's great. We got drunk when I saw his grandma's garden, and it's beautiful. It's big. I'm jealous. But yeah, how can you not love Dominicans? Let's be real here. Yeah, I want Waldo to win just because he's in there. He's in it. He's in it for the fight. He's in it for the scrap. And I think he beats Derek Lewis and fights. I'm just saying. I don't think he fights at the White House. But I think he gets like one more for a number 1 contender fight against whoever that may be. And then he just does it. I think Waldo Cortez Acosta versus who Volkov would be sick. Even though I think Volkov should just get the next title fight after the Cyril Gane fight, or a title fight after the Cyril Gane Tom Aspinall fight or whatever. But yeah, I love Waldo. The activity, it's like Marab, except better because he's in heavyweight and he's actually finishing people. So how can you hate that? It's honestly ideal for a heavyweight champion, and he's got to bring it back home to the DR. Let's clap it up for the Dominican Republic. Yeah, that's all. That's all weight divisions, and that's basically my bedtime banner. If you agree, if you disagree, if you want to tell me your bedtime banner in the comments, please do. I want to know what you guys think the way you do or whatever. That's very interesting to me. If not, also like the video, please. Not trying to beg, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, subscribe or whatever. Thank you guys for watching this one. And yeah, please let me know your guys' bedtime banner. Or if you're at the gym and you watch this, tell me in real life what your bedtime banner is for each division. Because it's just a good conversation starter. And we don't have to think too hard to think who we want to be a champion in each weight class. It's not that crazy. It's very entertaining conversation starter and fun thing to think about. So thank you. Do all the things I said. Goodbye.